Hello everybody, Steve Bergen here. We are in Scratch. We're on my account and I'm going to proceed to show you about variables. Variables can be found under data. So in data, we choose to make a variable. I'm going to make a variable and I'm going to call it size. I'm going to leave all this information just the way it says. Just by making a variable under data called size, it puts size 0 up top and it adds these orange statements that all involve size. Now I'm going to draw a square based upon the variable size. So we know from lesson 1 how to make a square. So I'm going to move a certain number of steps. I'm going to turn 90 degrees, and I am going to repeat that by using the control feature, and I'm going to repeat that 4 times. Don't forget, in the bottom right there's a plus and minus, and that makes your scripts a little bit bigger and easier to see on the eye. So repeat 4 times, move 10 steps, or move 100 steps, turn 90 degrees. Now, you already know from other lessons that it's very useful to clear the screen before you start, put the pen down before you start, possibly, not always required, but maybe set the pen color to something. You know from previous lessons that it's good to go to the 0, 0 point, and maybe it's good to point in the direction of 90, which is to the right, but I would rather point going up, which is straight this way. So now I will glue my program together, clear, pen down, set pen color, go to, point in the direction, and repeat. But I don't want to repeat, and I don't want it to walk 100 steps. I want it to walk size number of steps. So I go back to data, and I'm going to grab size, and I'm going to move size, which is a variable that I created, into the location where the 4, where the 4 is, where the 100 is. Where it says move 100 steps, I'm going to drop it, and you have to drop it carefully. You can see it light up, and you drop it in there, and now it's going to move size number of steps. Except it doesn't know what size is. So I'm going to go to the blue sensing, and I'm going to use the ask command. And as I grab ask, please look at what's underneath it. It's the most important piece of the lesson for this week. Under the word ask is answer. So I'm going to grab the ask command, and I am going to drop it. And whatever somebody says, it's not going to say, what's your name? We want to say, what size square do you want? And then it waits for the user to type in. Whatever the user types in will go into the variable called answer. So to complete this, we need to set size to be answer. Set size not to 0, set size to the result of the ask command. The ask command is under sensing. We pick answer up and we drop it into that white spot, and it drops exactly when it lights up. Now we have the making of a program. It does the intro stuff. It says, what size square do you want? And please put this in your head, it's very important. The result goes into the temporary variable answer. Answer is just temporary because it needs to be moved into a permanent variable. The permanent variable here is the word size. So set size to answer, which is an orange command. Answer is always there, and you'll be grabbing it many times. And now if I run the command and I run the program, it says, what size square do you want? I will say 133 and click the check mark, and it will draw the square in that awful color green on the screen. Hope that helps. There's one more thing for this lesson. I don't want this cat anymore. The cat's not so helpful. I can never figure out which way the cat is pointing. So I'm going to go to costumes this week. I'm going to go to the first of the several icons, choose costume from library. I'm going to go to the category called things, even though the other ones seem so fancy and cool and neat. I need something simple that points the way I want it to point to. Okay, and what's going to happen is I'm going to see and grab the icon that I want to use, and you'll be seeing me use this for lesson 2 throughout the whole time. My cat is gone. I've said goodbye to the cat. It's arrow 1A. 1A. Not the up arrow, but the arrow pointing to the right. I've made this mistake a few times, and I apologize for it, but I hope I can correct it for you now. Arrow 1A is the one I want. And arrow 1A points the way it's moving. So if I say, hey computer, move 100 steps, and I say 100, and I make it just do that, do you see how it walked 100 steps? If I say, hey computer, turn 15 degrees, it's turning 15 degrees. It's all hinged by the middle of the arrow, but it's all logical now. And that's what I want. So it's arrow 1A, and now my new program, the last thing I want to do is, as we get more sophisticated, I want to start using, when the green flag is clicked, run the program. So let me get rid of this. You throw it away by dragging it to the middle. Let me get the event when clicked. And now I can click my green flag here, run the program. What size square do you want? And I will type in 100 and press return. And except for that extra line, which I'm confused, but I bet you're not, there must be some logic for why it's doing that. What size square do you want? 200. And there's the big square. What size square do you want? 55. And there's that. Of course, right, and you've got my prejudice already. I'd like to see a little bit of weighting action. So I enjoy the wait command so that it pauses a little bit in between. So I'm going to go wait 0.5, and then I'll run the program, and I'll say 99, and you can see it pause between. The arrow is facing the direction it's going to walk, and I like that. Seymour Papert called this body syntonic and ego syntonic, and he was the creator of Mindstorms and the logo language in the 70s and 80s. Okay, hope this helps, and this is corresponding pretty much to lesson 2.1. Thanks, everybody. Bye.